If you're thinking about moving to South Carolina, especially the Charleston or Summerville area, one of the biggest questions is going to be, how much does it cost to live here? And the answer may surprise you, because for some people, it's going to feel inexpensive, but for others, it may be more than you were expecting. Let's talk about it right now. Hey there, I'm John. I help people relocate to South Carolina, especially the Charleston and Summerville area. So whether you're moving from another state or even overseas, I'm going to break down what it actually costs to live here in real life today in 2026, not just some random numbers on a screen. Now let's start with the biggest one, housing. If you're renting in this area, and I'm looking mostly at the Summerville area, you're going to be looking at around $1,400 to $1,800 a month for a one-bedroom apartment. Now, if you need more space in Summerville, that could easily go up to $2,000 to $3,000 a month, especially if you're looking for a three-bedroom apartment. Same with renting houses as well, as houses and apartments are about on the same level of pricing in this area. Now, if you're looking closer to the coast, those prices will go up dramatically. Now, if you're buying, most entry-level homes in this area are going to be in the high $200s to $300,000 range. What do you get for that? Usually a smaller single-family home or an attached home like a townhouse or a duplex. But most buyers in the Summerville area are landing somewhere in the $300,000 to $500,000 range. Again, if you look closer to the coast, that number is going to go up exponentially. You could be looking at closer to $900,000 to $1.2 million. And new construction is booming here. It's very common. And it's actually one of the smart ways to buy, as it might actually save you some money as opposed to buying an older home. Initially, this could run you a little bit higher depending on upgrades and things like that. Now, I'm going to say this straight. If you're coming from New York, Los Angeles, London, Madrid, Tokyo, this place is going to feel very, very affordable. But if you're coming from towns in the Midwest, states like Indiana, Missouri, Kentucky, coming from parts of Mexico or Canada, this will actually feel like a jump. Now let's talk about the second thing, is utilities. Utilities are usually one of those things that people don't usually think about until they get here. Your electric bill is going to fall anywhere between $150 to $250 a month on a newer home. This is going to be dependent upon the size of the home and how much you run your air conditioning and heat. In the summer, those prices can spike, but you have Dominion Energy and Berkeley Electric Co-op, which allows you to balance out your bills throughout the year, so you're just paying one consistent payment all year round. Speaking of winter, gas bills here are extraordinarily low. As a matter of fact, that $150 to $250 that I just quoted you is electric and gas. You might spend $20 a month on gas. That's a lot different than living in Chicago or New York or London. Now, water and sewer, it kind of depends on the town you're in. Sometimes it's rolled into the town's taxes. Sometimes it's rolled into the homeowners association, things like that. But generally, we see that water and sewer are around $60 to $100 a month, and your internet is going to be about $70 to $100 a month. And I'm going to say this, when it comes to utilities, the summers here are hot, especially in late July, early to mid-August. It is very hot. AC is not optional. You're going to be running it. Now let's talk about groceries. Groceries are pretty middle of the road. For a family of four, you're going to be looking at spending about $600 to $1,000 a month. That all depends on how you shop. And as far as grocery stores go, we have everything from Walmart and Publix to Lidl or Aldi. Trader Joe's is out in Mount Pleasant. You got Targets and all kinds of things out here. But it all depends on where you want to buy your groceries and how much you want to spend for it. Let's talk about transportation. This is where a lot of people get surprised, especially coming from overseas. I'm just going to say this once. You're going to need a car here. or a truck or an SUV or some kind of personal vehicle. You can't just get by on public transportation here. Everything is very spread out, and public transportation is very, very limited. So if you're coming from a place where you don't drive much, this is going to be one of your biggest adjustments. We do have a bus system, but it takes forever in Charleston to get from one place to the other using the car to bus system. And if you're coming from overseas and you're used to trains taking you everywhere, that's not really a thing here. There is an Amtrak line that goes up and down the coast, but it's not as nice as the ones in Europe or Japan. All right, so let's talk about taxes, because taxes can be super confusing no matter where you're coming from. South Carolina is a very tax-friendly state. Property taxes are very low, which is a big plus for homeowners. But there's a caveat to that. When you come to move to South Carolina, the taxes are based on a millage rate of the property, and they default to a 6% rate. No matter what county you move to in South Carolina, you have to physically apply for what's called the 4% rate. For example, if you have the 4% rate and you buy a $400,000 house in Summerville, as of 2026, depending on which county you're in, your taxes for the year will be somewhere between $2,500 and $3,000 a year. Now, if you let it slip your mind to apply for that 4% rate, that number that you pay actually triples. So instead of $3,000, you could be paying up to $9,000 to $10,000, and you don't have to. Also of note, homestead exemption is that in South Carolina is that if you are 65 and up and you've lived here as your primary residence for more than 1 year, you can get $50,000 of the assessed value of your house exempted for tax purposes, which saves you a little money. Now, sales tax, depending on where you live, is anywhere from 7% to 9%. And sometimes if you live in the city of Charleston or out closer to the coast, you're going to get hit with some tourist taxes that are going to jump up your restaurant bills and things like that quite a bit. So, for some people, these taxes are actually pretty low. Again, big cities like New York, London, Los Angeles, Madrid, anything like that, your taxes are going to drop significantly. But again, if you're coming from the Midwest or certain rural areas of the country where you're not taxed as much, this might be a jump for you. So it really depends on where you're coming from. Now let's talk about lifestyle, because this is important. The whole thing of South Carolina, there is a coastal lifestyle here, there is a rural lifestyle, there's a city lifestyle, there's a suburban lifestyle, and it just depends on what you want. Lifestyle, no matter what you want, can be as expensive or as affordable as you make it. You got restaurants, beaches, golf, boating, hunting, fishing, all these things. So you can live pretty simply or just go all out in the coastal lifestyle. So who is this for? Who does moving to South Carolina actually make it make sense? To be honest with you, this tends to work really, really well for people who are moving from high-cost areas, such as the northeastern or western United States or other countries. If you're a family looking for more space, or people who just want a slower pace of life, and yet still have access to the amenities that a city would have. But if you're expecting big city walkability or extremely low cost of living, this might not be the best fit for you. So if you're trying to figure out if South Carolina fits for you, or what area around Charleston makes the most sense for you, please feel free to reach out. If you go down to the link below in the description, you can click on a link that will take you to a scheduling page that we can set up a Zoom call together and we can talk about it. And we can talk with these guys too, Mark and Jeff. They are my team leaders. I'm on their team, I should say. And we work together to help people move to South Carolina from all over the place. We help people with this move every day, and we would be thrilled to help you make a smart move. Till next time, see you later.